think we has done well. But
Singapore is a country.
getting a car is a social
When it comes to owning a car in Singapore, you shouldn't even
Nowadays,
consider it. It's not an option.
impossible to
What's
be
wrong
even
with
out of your
Singapore?
parents'
I
house.
think
Like
the question should be what's wrong with Singaporeans.
Now let's get into the discussion of Chinese New Year. Let's look back first at what it was. Maybe the more senior members that we have can tell us what was Chinese New Year, maybe in Chinatown years ago, before they banned crackers and things like that.
Senior members like me, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
so am I the oldest here?
You look young, but I think you're older.
When I was young, I remember we still can play with crackers, real crackers. Yeah, I remember there was an incident whereby I think some houses caught fire. That's where the authorities stepped in and they banned firecrackers. Yeah.
Yeah, but I stayed actually near Chinatown, and I remember that from New Year's Eve, they played crackers, and it was a continuous, non-stop thundering roll. And it went on for a few days, and then the next morning when you walk into the streets, the entire street is just red with the firecrackers. Yeah. But tell us, did you understand what the traditions were in the past? How about you?
I
What
think
was Chinese New Year like for you?
yeah, I still remember crackers, I guess, yes, firecrackers. And I remember when I was pretty young, I guess somebody just light the crackers and throw it out the street and things like that. It is quite a different atmosphere when it comes to Chinese New Year.
Better?
Those atmosphere
Worse?
with crackers and those with atmosphere without crackers, right? I would say with crackers there's a special charm. And that's the purpose of the crackers actually. They're meant to chase away the Nian, or what do you call that?
Okay.
Right.
The monster.
Right, the
used to
monster.
come.
The monster. Right. But now we feed them with the sticky rice, maybe. Without crackers, of course, now we have the artificial one, so not so bad to complement it. And of course, it's safer because between safety and the atmospheric pleasure, I guess safety would come first because it's a fire hazard anyway. Yeah, no point having crackers and everybody happy, but ended up in some tragic manner. So that is not worth the price.
Very Singaporean answer. Okay, let's talk about the traditions apart from crackers. What was it like? What was Chinese New Year like?
People going to the wet market, getting those cups and things like that, live cups home, and chickens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Slaughter the chicken themselves.
Yeah, they slaughter the chicken themselves.
That's when you are pretty young. My dad and mom, they go to market and get a chicken and duck and they start slaughtering and pull out the feather and they start to cook it. Nowadays we don't see
Yeah.
the kampong days.
Now they all centralized slaughtering houses to do this job. Yeah.
And then what about the family gathering? Was it a big affair?
I think so. Last time it's really a big affair. Relatives from as far as Malaysia, Indonesia, they fly in
Yeah.
for the reunion dinner. Nowadays it seems the reunion dinner, what time you're free, 5 o'clock you're free, you start eating, then you just go away, then later your father come back, what time? Different timing, I think. I think it's a bit different nowadays.
I think previously the fun starts as soon as the preparation starts.
Yes.
Going to the wet market together, bringing back the livestock, slaughtering it together, preparing the food together.
Yes.
That entire process, I guess, is more meaningful.
Yes.
Can I ask you whether it was more enjoyable Chinese New Year before or today, or it's just different?
I would say before is better. There's some family bonding. Yeah.
I'm not in a position to answer this question because every Chinese New Year I'll be working, so.
I think I've left Terence off the hook. Terence, and you've been very quiet.
Oh yeah. I guess Chinese New Year will be a very celebrate occasions. Actually, I have got a Cantonese mother-in-law, where prior to Chinese New Year, she'll be busy buying those wet duck, wax duck, then this, this minced pork, then this red dates, and red melon seed and black melon seed, and the groundnuts and all this, to fill up, the goodies around, and then she'll be busy, cooking like being Cantonese. They're very popular with the soup, So then she will, beside cooking the soup, she also prepare very nice dessert for us.
But
That's
all
one.
these things have meaning, right? I mean,
I guess
peanuts and things like
because
that.
I'm a different dialect, but I really it was a very sumptuous meal to me.
So when you say you're a different dialect, what about your own parents?
My dialect is actually I'm Teochew.
Okay.
We are quite popular with our fish, steamed fish.
Okay.
Steamed fish. We either get some prawn fat, most of the time at that time we had was mostly prawn fat lah, and then it's quite Teochew chui.
What was the significance of having fish?
I think Nian Gao.
Abundance.
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 Yeah.
Abundance.
And what other things? You mentioned peanuts just now. What's that?
Peanuts. That one is I'm not very sure. I'm sorry,
It
but I
represents
enjoy
long life,
I enjoy
yeah.
the peanut. Yes, that's for sure.
And then there's also the Nian Gao.
Nian Gao, yes.
Prosperity throughout the
Prosperity,
year.
yeah.
Yeah. And of course, there's some. They believe that they pray to the
Kitchen god.
The kitchen god, yeah.
So that when the gods, you were saying,
Yeah.
when they go up to heavens,
Yeah.
after eating the sweet cakes, they would have something good to report back
Yeah.
to.
So they won't bad mouth you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they won't bad mouth you.
Emperor among the family. Oh, he's a nice family.
Yeah.
And of course, prawns is actually one of the dish, in a Chinese meal, because prawns symbolize, they say, ha ha dai xiu, means happiness. Yeah.
One of the many dishes
Yes.
that's popular
Okay.
during Chinese
Yes.
New Year.
I think beside food also, I think the most the soup popular will be this abalone and
Abalone.
Why
How-
abalone?
abalone, the sea cucumber, is it?
Abalone,
I'm
because the
sorry, I
shape
don't
of the
know.
abalone is like
It's
a
like
yuan
coin
bao.
ingot.
Like the
yeah.
gold ingot.
The gold
Yeah.
ingot,
Yes,
yes.
yes,
Ah,
yes.
okay.
Yes.
So everything is towards becoming richer, becoming more prosperous.
Symbolic significance.
Yeah.
Symbolic significance of wealth, I would say.
So wealth is the most important thing that they hope for during Chinese New Year.
Of course, wealth and
Health.
health as well.
Yeah.
Health as well.
Yeah.
Like they got something to bless the Ping An,
And of course,
Senti
ho si
Xian
fat
Kao.
choy, that's dried oyster with fat chai.
Yeah.
Ho si fat choy, lah. That means
Yeah.
it's good news. Fat choy is like prosperity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Means a very vibrant market
Yeah.
to create wealth.
Okay, so it's wealth and health.
Wealth and
Yes.
health, yes.
Alright.
And of course,
Mostly wealth.
the entire thing is family unity. Reunion dinner started first
Okay.
because family unity can come first, wealth and health.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I remember in Chinatown also they used to write those couplets, the 对联.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't see
Calligraphy.
that today, yeah?
Calligraphy. Now they can print it from computer, right?
Computer, yes. Last time in Chinatown, there'll be an old man sitting down there.
Yeah, yeah,
Like the
yeah.
black color or
Yeah,
gold
the
colour.
calligraphy.
Yeah.
yes,
So
yeah,
what's the
right.
significance of 对联? What's it?
I
What
think
is
it's
it
just
for?
to decorate their house, right?
And blessings.
Yeah,
Auspicious blessings.
auspicious
Auspicious
words.
blessings.
Yes.
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 It's a couplet that you put on the left and right side of the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Ping Yang, do you know what 对联 is?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
Yeah.
How about you, Frederick?
Yeah, something like this.
What? Like what?
Like why you?
Like this one?
Yeah.
Okay, and what's the significance?
Not really sure about that.
That's the point I'm trying to demonstrate, because I think with time, we forget what the traditions mean, and I'd like to discuss actually why this is so. Two aspects. One is the traditional martial arts, as well as martial arts for like live dancing and all that, which takes on a different form, non-combative. First of all, we have with us Samdin. We have with
Tai
us
Chu
what's
Chuan.
it? Tai what?
Tai Chu Chuan.
Okay, we have the Tai Chu Chuan members here, and I'd like Dominic to tell us more about their association and perhaps the fortunes that they faced over the years since they started in the 1970s.
Okay, our school is started in 1972. It's by our Sifu, Mr. Teo Chun Tek. So he's we do Tai Chu Chuan, which is a form that is created in China and passed down to Singapore. It's very traditional and extremely rare at this moment that we are even as we speak. In 1970, we used to be from another group called Mannan Gok Su Guan, which is a Minnan Guo Su Guan. And it's very traditional. It was on a rooftop, and then the students just go there and do. It's like the TV and everything. In the 72, my Sufu decided to restructure Chinese martial arts into something more structured. Like we have belts, we have levels, we have gradings, and to make it it's like a split, or rather from the
splinter
old
group, is it?
yes, from the old types. But in terms of the styles that we do, it's still the same traditional stuff that we do. Just that the way we present it is different, the way we structure it is different.
So it's
Yeah.
more structured, it's more
Yes,
formalized,
yes.
it's more...
So he reorganizes the forms together.
Okay.
Just to like have a different level for each. Yeah. So we were very active in the 80s because of Sanda. We do a lot of Sanda kickboxing. It's a Chinese kickboxing that we do.
Okay.
Yeah. And a lot of I think that was during the Bruce Lee era where
Yes.
we have a lot of big membership and
Like how many?
About coming to 600 to 700.
That's a lot. But how do you manage to train them all?
For Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we have got 2 sessions going in. One session coming in at 6:30 to 7:30. Then we have half an hour break. 8 to 9, one more session.
And what sort of people come?
That time, I mean, all of us we have met at this, this with Bruce Lee, Irata, and all talking about Green Hornet, all the fighting styles,
And are these young people, young boys or girls?
Yeah, they are mostly
Chinese,
actually
what?
yes. No, actually it's not only Chinese. I mean, we've got coming in from different races. So this is
A fair percentage?
I would say that mostly it's Chinese, but then we still got quite a percentage of other races
Like?
like Indians. The Indians, because Indians they only I think about maybe 2 groups in Singapore, but they prefer that kind of Bruce Lee style, a bit of shouting here and there,
So you were very popular when you first started in the 70s into the 80s during
Yes.
the Bruce Lee era.
Yes.
And then what about subsequent years?
Subsequently years, actually, because also that time it was known as not exactly a Chinese kickboxing. It was known as Lei Tai, is it? Lei Tai. But then as time goes by, the contestant got less and less exposures. But I think this is not only the fault of the Chinese martial art. I think it can also be reflected in other form of martial art, like even the karate, the taekwondo, where during that time in the 70s, 80s, they have got many tournaments. Because tournaments are actually exposures of contestants. But a lack of this thing, exposures, I think there's always a decline. But I would say that currently...
So when did it start to decline? When did it start?
the decline started, I think, early 2000.
So you were actually on the rise from the 70s
Right,
to the
and
80s to the
membership
90s.
decline, yes.
And-
So it was the middle of 1990s we started declining. Because other form of martial art has taken up a big shape.
So from a peak of 600 to 700, how many people do you have now?
We train about, now we are only a small group. We only got 2 training centers in.
How many people do you have?
Maybe about 30.
30, but what's going to happen then? Are you doing anything to
There's,
reverse the trend?
re-
What
we
is
hope to,
causing
we
the
hope to.
depletion?
I think we must admit that actually practitioners has they got more choices now.
Okay.
Different choices. And then
What's attractive to young people now?
because these competitions involve there's a reward, like the K1, UFC,
Ultimate
the
Fighting
YFC, Ultimate Challenge, and
Championships.
all this.
So what you're saying is to keep it alive, you need to have competitions and
Yes,
prize
yes,
money
yes,
and
yes,
things like
yes.
that. Okay. So all these TV friendly competitions can bring in more money, bring in more people.
It depends on how well the things can be organized. Like years back, actually, Contender Asia is quite good in
Yep.
organization. Yeah,
That was mixed martial arts.
they have reached in fighters from different part of the world.
Yeah.
And admittedly, we cannot deny that Muay Thai has taken this martial art by storm really, because of the alignment with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is actually more favorable in MMA. It's martial art.
Okay. But
Maybe
what
I can
what
let-
of the future? What prospects do you think
I
you
think
have?
the main thing that has been affecting memberships is because people are no longer interested in tradition. I mean, people do martial arts, they want to be, they want to be the tough guy, right? They want to fight. So why do they care about which lineage is it from? I mean, most people don't do that. So hopefully that in the future we can let people know more about our lineage. Why is it important to keep it still alive? Because in Singapore we are the only group left. And globally I've been to China to seek out people from my same lineage. They stopped.
We also want to look at non-combative martial arts, and this is the lion dance. And we have here 3 members of the Polling Lion Dance Instruction Center. And I'm going to leave it to Edwin to tell us about the fortunes of lion dancing in Singapore.
Before I touch on that, I'm very happy to be here because I found my relative. I discovered that because I should say, if you talk about Mingnan, it's my Guo Xionghu.
Yes, correct.
Guo Xionghu is my grandmaster. My master is Tan Eng Hong.
Oh,
My master is Tan Eng Hong, Chen Yongfu, Shaolin
oh,
Gong
okay,
San
okay.
Chen
Yeah.
Chen Lianhe, Lianhai
okay.
形式训练中心 is my master.
Which group is that?
联海刑事训练中心.
Oh, okay, okay,
Chen
okay.
Lianhe
Yes,
is my
yes.
master.
Okay.
So, Guo Xionghu is our 师公.
Yes.
Chen Lianhe, Chen Yongfu is my 师傅. So
Yes.
we are, then Zhao Chunde is my 师, your master is my 师伯.
Okay.
Yeah, so we are one family. So
So
happy
you are
to
my
be,
sister.
so happy to be united.
We never know that actually we are connected actually.
Yeah,
by
now we
chance.
have a connection.
That I'm very happy to be in Happy TV. Yeah, I learned Samjian also.
Oh,
Yes.
Samjian. Yeah.
And maybe I would like to touch a bit on what Mr. Dominic have said. I'm one of the liaison officer of the Singapore Zoo Dragon and Dance Federation. I would say our art dies off
Yes.
because
Even lion dance?
not lion dance. Lion dance is very high profile. Many new clubs have set up. Actually, lion dance, there are a few types. The dance that Chinese New Year, when youngsters you talk about lion dance, they say Dong Cheng, this is the Southern Lion Dance.
Okay.
Southern Lion Dance. That's the Wong Fei Hong. But Southern Lion Dance, there are also many types of lion dance. There are the Feng Shan Si, He Shan Si, Fo He Si, different parts of China. Yeah. So there are when we see in movies those Huang Fei Hong star, when they dance the lion, they will hold the lion head very high until you can see the dancer's face, and the body is very long. For the normal lion dance that we are doing in Singapore, ours is the Fo He Zhuang one. The He means the crane. Fo Shan is a place. The big lion head from the Huang Fei Hong time, that is known as the Fo Shan one. There's a place in China, Fo Shan. That's where the origin of the lion dance comes about. So for the northern lion looks like a real lion. The body is full of fur, and the steps, the stances, and the percussions are also different. And there's another of lion, they call it the green lion. That's when during the Qing dynasty, whereby they Fan Qing Fu Ming, they're going to overthrow the Qing dynasty, they dance the lion. And there's a different lion whereby the mouth, the eyeball and the mouth, they're knife, and they call it the fighting lion. They use that for fighting, the traditional. But in Singapore, we do have such associations, but the knife is no longer sharp. Dance for fun.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And what are the fortunes of lion dancing?
Wow. The fortunes, the future looks very bright. The future for
When
lion dance.
did it start? When was it introduced in Singapore?
Lion dance, I should say long time ago. 1960s, 1950s.
And it's
long-
always been going up and up and
always
up.
been going up and
No
up.
decline.
No. And there are many new clubs. There are many people who register and set up new clubs.
This is because of the competitions, the exposure, the exhibitions.
I should say, yes, competitions, one of them. International competitions, Singapore's competition, Nian City, every year we have competitions. Malaysia, Genting, every year we have competitions. And I should say, youngsters, they will dance lion rather than play martial art. Yeah.
Yes.
And another thing,
Why? Why?
Why? Yeah. I think it's not so, martial art is more difficult, more hectic.
I think there's also a demand for lion dance rather
Yes.
than for martial
Yes,
arts.
correct.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like a shop that's open, they'll need the
Lion
troop
dance.
to be there to
Yes.
give them good luck.
Yes.
But they don't need us doing this,
Correct.
Give them good luck.
Correct.
Because when it comes to martial arts also, for one pattern, sometimes you will learn for maybe 1-2 years the same pattern again and again and again, just to refine your technique.
And I
Even
should
to
say-
have a stroke corrected.
and lion
So
dance,
which is
I
actually
should
very
say-
boring for even for pattern and for weapon. We also do weapon, yes.
And I should say money. There are full-time lion dancers in Singapore. Their job is to do lion dancing. There are, how to say, as what Mr. Dominic has said, opening of new business concerns, even birthday parties, weddings, all those auspicious occasions, even funerals. We even dance for funerals also. Some of them they love, or some of them they say, oh, my dad loved lion dance, you know. So when he passed away, he hope to have some lion, so we can dance for them also. So be it good occasion or bad occasions, whatever occasion, the lion is always there. And profit margin, I should say, is considered quite moderate nowadays, quite competitive. Last time it's a bit better. 10 over years ago, it's a bit better. Now the price has fallen, but then, however, Chinese New Year, we still receive lots of orders.
Okay. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll perhaps look more carefully at the reason why, although traditions continue, why is it that the younger people seem to have less understanding of their meaning and the significance for them?